Each year, the Army trials bring together soldiers from across the country to compete in adaptive sports. This event showcases wounded, ill, and injured service members who use athletic competition as a part of their recovery, resilience, and continued mission of excellence. 27-13. These trials will also help select the team that will go on to represent the U.S. Army at the Department of Defense Warrior Games, competing against athletes from other branches of the military. Among the many sports featured at the Army trials is seated volleyball, a fast-paced game where agility and strategy matter just as much as power. Played entirely from the floor, athletes move by sliding, pushing, and pivoting across the court while keeping contact with the ground. The court is smaller, the net is lower, but the intensity?
Talk to me, let me know.
Just as high as the game played standing.
Despite any challenges these soldiers may face, as you can see behind me, competition is fierce.
For this team's coach, Linda Pye, the journey into adaptive sports started long before the Army trials. Before the competitions, before the championships, there was a classroom. She was a grade school teacher when two of her students, both missing limbs, asked if they could join the volleyball team.
I met two 7th grade girls that were born without an arm and a hand, and they wanted to play volleyball, and their coach had said, no, you can't play.
That moment changed everything.
So I called the Paralympic program, and that's how I got started. So as I got more into the adapted programs in the last 15 years, I realized that that's where my passion has been.
Inspired by those students, she began learning about adaptive sports and eventually found seated volleyball, a game where athletes of all abilities could compete at the highest level. For many soldiers here, the Army trials represent something even deeper than competition.
I think it gives you a sense of purpose, like makes you feel like you belong to part of a team once again.
Wow! Moments like these are why the Army trials matter, bringing soldiers together like retired Sergeant First Class Alberto Alvarez to help rebuild confidence and proving that recovery can take many forms.
So my injuries, 2013, got injured in a RPG blast, suffered a TBI, and later on in end of 2022, started feeling like stroke-like symptoms, and turns out I have a very rare disease called moya moya. Like 0.01% of the world gets it.
Alvarez tells us how his diagnosis makes him feel.
It just makes me feel like I have a new sense in life, a new purpose, to keep going, keep pushing.
Every serve, every dive, every point tells a story of recovery, perseverance, and the unbreakable spirit of the soldiers competing here.
What I see here is hope. It's a lot of hope. It's a lot more joy. They are more resilient. They're working through their adversities in a different way.
I find my motivation like people like amputees, people who I feel have it worse off than I do. I find my motivation through them. So like watching them compete and do all the things that they do, really pulls the string in my heart. So
I'm the most blessed person in the world. This is amazing, amazing. This is my 11th year with Army. I've been so blessed to have been called back. And I will be honest with you at this point that every year is just heaven on earth for me.
1, 2, 3, shoot. Okay.
At the Army trials, the mission continues, not just in uniform, but in competition. And on this court,
good job, DJ.
These athletes show that strength comes in many forms. Seated volleyball at the 2026 Army trials, where resilience meets the game.
T4 me, T4 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. T4!
Krista Mack, Fort Bliss Garrison Public Affairs.
Go Army.